So Microsoft has finally shown their up-and-coming games for their new Xbox. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. Now this time, I just wanted to share my thoughts and opinions on this Xbox event that happened just a few hours ago. And I just wanted to get out what I thought about the games that they showed off. And I just wanted to share it with you guys. So I'm going to be doing this in order with the games that they showed off first. So first they showed off Halo Infinite. Now, Halo Infinite was a game that needed to be shown off, and quite frankly, I'm glad that they did, because there's a lot of new stuff here, not just in the art style, but also in the combat. Allow me to go back just a second. The art style looks completely like classic Halo, and the combat looks exactly like classic Halo as well. And you could really tell the developers really wanted to go return to form back to the original roots and step away from what they did with Halo 5. And quite frankly, I'm glad that they did, because everything just looks like classic Halo, and I'm honestly really happy about that. And not to mention that they did add a few new gameplay elements such as a grapple hook, and honestly, I can't wait to try out the new mechanics that are going to be implemented with that. So I'm going to be looking forward to trying that grapple hook out and trying out any scenario I'm in. But quite frankly, I'm going to get this game right when it comes out, no doubt about it. And now there is one thing that needs to be said. This game, it doesn't look like anything too next gen, which is kind of disappointing. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad that the art style looks the way it does, because it just screams classic Halo. But the combat looks amazing, and it's just quite fun. Honestly, seeing this whole gameplay demo just made me want to play it myself. Just have a controller and just play the game myself. But I honestly can't say enough about this game. Again, I want to see more about this. And I hope they do improve the graphics a bit, because seeing as this is going to be for the Xbox Series X, I do kind of hope that they could improve the graphics before launch. But we'll see what happens in the future. Now the next game to be shown was State of Decay 3, and I do have a few things to say about this, seeing as I did play State of Decay 2. So this trailer was purely CGI, and to be honest, it didn't get me hyped at all, especially knowing the gameplay that was in State of Decay 2. And honestly, playing State of Decay 2, I wasn't all that thrilled about it, to be honest. I mean, it was fun at first, but the second State of Decay game just really felt like chores. Yes, it's fun with friends, but the whole thing just felt like chores, and trying to take care of people in your camp just felt so annoying to just do. Especially because they had so many complaints and just needs to accomplish. So I hope this game does end up better. But the CGI, while the CGI trailer was cool, it didn't capture my attention, to be honest. And this is the trend that started with this whole show being a little bit underwhelming for me. But again, I'm happy for those who love State of Decay 3, but it's just not for me. But I do hope that with this new budget that they have, that they could improve the game. So I'm just gonna leave it there. Now the next game to be shown off was Forza Motorsport 8. And while I'm not a big fan of racing games, specifically simulation racing games, just these track type games, this was cool to see. But again, it was CGI trailer, which I was not hyped about. Now, I admit that the ray tracing was cool in this trailer, but again, it looked so CGI, and I get this was an engine, but again, no gameplay, not hyped. Let's move on. Now, the next game to be shown off was Rare's Everwild. Now, Everwild was a game that was shown off last E3 by Microsoft, and while it did look visually stunning at that time, it still does. But at the same time, this game didn't really show anything new, and it didn't really talk about what this game was going to be about. I mean, this trailer really didn't help this game at all. But I do admit this game does look visually stunning. It looks like a masterpiece of a painting come to life. And I mean, I don't know what it's going to play like either, because they didn't show any gameplay again. It still looks nice and unique to stand out by itself. But I really hope that they can show off some gameplay soon, because I really do want to know what this game plays like. It looks so interesting, but again, there wasn't anything new here, so this really pissed me off, because I was kind of hoping to see more about this game. So that's all I gotta say, to be honest. And we're gonna move on to the next game. Now this game was Don't Nod's Tell Me Why, which, to be honest, it looks visually stunning. And if you don't know who Don't Nod is, they created the Life is Strange games. And while I'm not a big fan of those games, this game does look to be a step up above that. Now, I know the writing is weird, but I'm going to be looking forward to playing this, because this does look really beautiful in some of their shots from this trailer. And to be honest, it does look interesting. It really does. And LatinAutor are great storytellers. And I'm just gonna be looking forward to playing this. So this is a nice one that they showed off, and I kind of hope to see more about this game. So this one I'm definitely gonna be staying tuned for. Now the next few stuff I'm gonna be talking about are just gonna be short, which because I don't really have any care for it. I really don't care about this stuff. But I will say this first one, Ori is getting a 120 FPS and 4K update, which is really nice. And I must admit, having a game running at 120 FPS is really nice. As someone who plays on PC and plays at higher frame rates than 60, I do admit that this is a really great thing for this game, and I really hope a lot of people do enjoy this. And I'm going to really be picking this up because I played the first Ori game, but at the same time, I haven't picked this up yet. So I'm going to be doing that when this update comes out, so hopefully I can enjoy this. And another thing, the Outer Worlds is getting an expansion, and I believe it's going to bring another planet as well as some new enemies and new weapons as well. And it looks at the trailer, and it looks really fun. And I'm a big fan of the Outer Worlds. I love the game that I played so far, and to be honest, I can't wait to buy this too. And the next skin that they showed was, of course, the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids game, or Grounded. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of this art style, but at the same time, it is a survival game, and I really do love survival games, so I am going to try this out. And they really did have some smart marketing with using cyberpunk in it, which I really got a kick out of. So they did get me with this game, but yeah, again, nothing too big, so I'm just going to move on from here. Now this next announcement really did hype me up, specifically because it's a medieval RPG in the veins of something like Skyrim, which, to be honest, I am a huge role-playing enthusiast. I love my RPGs, and this game I think is going to be fun, especially since it's from Obsidian, and Obsidian really do make great RPGs. Now one thing I did not know until recently is that this game is going to follow under the Pillars of Eternity franchise, which honestly surprised me. And I'm gonna try out the Pillars franchise soon, seeing as this game is connected, so I do want some of the lore before I enter this game. But it looks like it's gonna be in first person, and the graphics do look good from what this is. But again, it does look CGI, so I couldn't get all too hyped about it because I know the graphics won't look this good. But at the same time, this trailer in 4K looks absolutely outstanding, and this is one of my few gems out of this entire show. Now the next game to be shown out of this event was a game called As Dusk Falls, which honestly does look truly unique in terms of its visual and art style. I mean, it looks like a moving painting, and honestly, well, it doesn't look like it's the type of game I would play. I mean, I will check this out to see how the game is and how its story is, but overall, I think this game is quite unique for what it does, and it's made by a fairly new and up-and-coming developer that is making this unique gem. And to be honest, I'm quite surprised, and I'm gonna be looking forward to looking more at this game to see what it can do. So yeah. Now this is the next one I'm not going to be taking too much time into, mostly because Ninja Theory didn't really show anything, but they were at least at the game show talking about it. And well, they did post a YouTube video about like their process of what they're going to be doing for this game, which was interesting. I recommend to go watch that YouTube video, but overall they didn't really show anything new. It honestly felt like they shouldn't have even been there. They didn't have anything to show, which to be honest kind of was a waste of time, but hey, what can you do? So, I just think that they should have cut this part out, so I'm just gonna move on to the next game. Now, this game was Psychonauts 2, and Psychonauts 2 really does look visually stunning, and for a platformer game, it looks so much fun. Just the art style just screams attention, and I love it. I honestly love the bright visuals. It looks like a psychedelic effect, it looks like you're gonna be on drugs playing this. But this game looks fun, and seeing as Jack Black is making the music for this game, I love it already. So I am sold. I am very sold on this game. And Double Fine are really great at their games. So I can tell that this game is going to be a really great hit. So just stay open for this game. For any of you guys are hyped about this game, because this is going to be a wild ride for sure. Just seeing from the visuals. And especially from the background, just interviews that they had with the devs, that this game has been expanded even more so than we last saw. So I'm just looking forward to this game. Now the next thing to be talked about was a Game Pass announcement, which is to be expected, seeing as Game Pass is really doing a number for Xbox, and they are quite impressed with their numbers. So the next announcement was a Destiny 2 announcement for Game Pass, which that Destiny was coming to Game Pass. And to be honest, this doesn't really make much sense to me, seeing as the game is already free to play. So I don't get it if it's just the content that's coming to it with the season passes or the expansion passes, or I don't know what the whole point of this is, but good for Xbox gamers, I guess. So happy for you guys. I'm not much of a Destiny player myself. I prefer Warframe. So yeah, I'm just gonna move on. Now this next announcement was one that surprised me for sure, and it surprised me in the fact that I didn't even know this game existed, or that there was even a first Stalker game. But the announcement of Stalker 2 really did intrigue me, especially with this cinematics. Now I know this is all CGI, so I know not to expect the game to look this good, but still, it looked very Metro-esque. For those of you who played the Metro games, this looks so much like Metro, it's unfunny. And I think that's what caught my attention, so I'm going to be looking into this game a bit and seeing how the first game played like, just to know what to expect from this. So props to Xbox for showing me something new. So yeah, good job. Now this new announcement came from Vermintide, at least the Warhammer series, and I'm not the biggest Warhammer fan. I never played any of their games, so I don't know what to expect from this, other than the CGI looked cool. But again, CGI, not hyped. And to be honest, I don't really care about this franchise, so I'm not even going to bother talking about it. So let's move on. Now this next announcement was one I don't really care about, but again, it's cool for Xbox fans and for Xbox gamers in general, as Tetris Effect is coming to the Xbox and Xbox Game Pass. And to be honest, I heard this was really great, and it was really fun in VR, so good for people who are getting this game, and I'm happy for you guys again, but I couldn't really care less, so let's move on. And here we have another game that is rather interesting to me, solely for the fact that it just looks like a little fun platformer game. Now, the game is called the Gunk, and it seems like you're going to be going around exploring a bit, so this is a little cool game that they showed off, and it's coming to Xbox Game Pass again, so happy for you guys who are getting this game, and I'm going to be trying this on a PC, so this game absolutely looks beautiful with its graphics. It looks stunning, to be honest. And that's one thing I gotta say about these indie games, is that they all look amazing. And I'm really excited for the future of indies. So with that, let's move on. Now the next game to be shown off was from Bloober Team, and this is The Medium, which is a really unique horror game. And from the looks of it, it looks like you're going to be controlling the same person, but from two different worlds, it seems. And the whole premise of this looks really interesting. And honestly, the graphics look impressive, and from the little bit of gameplay that they've shown, it does look fun. And from this trailer, it honestly hooked me, so I'm looking forward to trying this out. Again, this is another game that looked amazing. I wish it could have showed a little bit more gameplay and a little bit more of what this story is going to be about, just to get a little hint of it. But again, I love this game, so good for Xbox for having this on their show. Now this was another non-game announcement, so I didn't really care for it, but and now that I know that this game is coming to PC, I am going to be playing it for all you PC fanatics. This game is something I'm going to be trying out. So, yeah, but again, it didn't need to be at the Xbox showcase. So, again, I don't really care to talk about this too much. So, let's move on. Now, this next announcement comes from Remedy with Crossfire X. And seeing this cinematic game, it looks beautiful. And seeing from the little bit of snippets of gameplay that we got from this trailer, it looks fun, it looks really good, and to be honest, I can't wait to try this out, especially because it's going to be free to play, especially the multiplayer. But I don't know how they're going to do it with the single player, but again, this game looks absolutely stunning, and good job to those at Remedy who made this game. This is definitely going to be a game I'm going to be checking out, especially for the story. Now, the final game to finally be announced was the rumored Fable. This game has been rumored for so long, and to finally see it's been announced, I'm glad for Xbox fans, as this isn't a franchise I got into at all, and I barely bought the first game, so I'm still going to do that. But this game, I'm glad for people who are just happy for this and have been waiting for a long time. But again, it was purely CGI, which didn't really hype me at all, especially since I'm a newcomer to the franchise. But again, I'm happy for you guys at Xbox, and to be honest, from what I've seen so far of the franchise, it is a good RPG, and I'm just hoping that with this new announcement that it can really get some new mechanics and some new features. But I hope that the graphics look amazing for this game. I truly do. But with that, folks, I honestly think that this show was one of Xbox's best shows, but yet it was still lacking with the gameplay. There was purely CGI trailers, and to be honest, I mean, while the games were cool that what they announced, they weren't. Some of them weren't for me, and some of them were kind of pointless and didn't need to be here. Like Ninja Theory, they didn't need to be here at all. I just felt like they had to. But again, that's just my thoughts. And personally, if I was to rate this show, I would give it a 7 out of 10 and place it just under the PlayStation event, to be honest. Just by 7.5 is what I rated that show. And to be honest, there were a few dull moments in the show, like with Ori and, of course, the Outer Worlds expansion, but nothing too dramatic. And with Halo, I honestly thought that game looked amazing and played like the original Halo, which I loved. So I'm just looking forward to all their other games that they're going to be announcing in the future. So yeah, but with that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the next one, guys, and peace.